Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur and team president Ed Policy. We were told by the media that LaFleur and the Packers were working on a contract, and it's been 4 days since they lost to the Bears. 4 days since Matt LaFleur gave the game to the Bears, to be more precise, and we still haven't heard anything. And what was working on a contract has now become everything's on the table. So before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. If you did not see my video on Monday, I went over every scenario that could happen, from extending him, from firing him, for mutually parting ways, kind of like Steelers and Tomlin, to trading him, which I think the most likely thing is working on a contract or trading him to another team. At least that sounds like a possibility. The teams that might be interested are the Falcons, Titans, and Dolphins. He used to be the quarterback's coach of the Falcons when Dan Quinn was the head coach there. He was the offensive coordinator of the Titans before he got the Packer job, so he's got connections there. In Miami, they just hired John Eric Sullivan to be their general manager. He used to work in the Packers front office. And the longer it goes, some people are excited. I get a lot of texts from my friends that are Packer fans, messages from you on the channel in the comments, really appreciate it, saying maybe they are trying to trade him. Maybe they're not going to extend him. Because if you watch any of my videos, you know they have to move on from LaFleur. It's an absolute embarrassment. He's destroyed the Packer culture. It's make the playoffs, lose right away kind of mentality. And Packer fans, we're not okay with that. And if you extend LaFleur, then you're saying we're okay with that. We're okay with blowing 2 and 3 score leads consistently over and over. We're okay with having the worst special teams in the NFL year after year after year. We're okay with pre-snap penalties. We're okay with wasting timeouts. We're okay with bad clock management. We're okay with getting outcoached in every big game. So, but we haven't heard anything. And I guess that is good news. Maybe they're far apart in money. Maybe Ed Policy doesn't want to extend him and wants to trade him and is lowballing the offer. But here's the problem. There are 9 openings, hopefully 10 soon. Green Bay would be the 10th. Some of these teams are going to start filling these vacancies. And Jeff Hafley, who's the Packers defensive coordinator right now, it looks like he's going to get a job. One of these teams is going to offer it to him. The favorite seems to be Miami right now because of the connection with John Eric Sullivan. Do not take the Dolphins job. The Browns job and the Dolphins job I would not take. I would stay wherever I am. Those rosters are terrible. They're going absolutely nowhere. Neither has a quarterback. Just a disaster. But the point is, Jeff Hafley might be able to pick between 2 or 3 jobs. And he has to be one of the favorites for the Packer job. Maybe John Harbaugh gets the Giants job. Maybe Kevin Stefanski gets another job. All of a sudden, all these good candidates, Clint Kubiak, Jesse Minter, could be gone. So you've waited too long, then you decide to move on from LaFleur, and all the candidates you would have interviewed are gone. All the best candidates. Because I guarantee you some of them would take the Packer job in a heartbeat. Of all the jobs, if you add it to the list, and me and Mike did it last night on the Lights Out podcast, link in the description. At the very end, we do a Lights Out list top 10, and we did the top 10 openings, and I had Browns last, Packers first. The Packers have a good roster. They have their franchise quarterback. They have Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, recovering from ACL injuries. But it's a very desirable job. But all these candidates could be off the board. And the teams that might trade for LaFleur, maybe give you a 3rd-round pick, they might also fill their coaching vacancies, and then you have to fire them. So I'm not sure what's going on exactly with Ed Policy, the new team president. I hope he does not work out a contract extension. It would be really bad for the Packers. The fan backlash would be pretty big. But something needs to be done, Ed. In the next 24 hours, you can't wait till the weekend, because I really think some of these jobs are going to go really soon. And one more thing I want to say. Why does Brian Gutekunst still have a job? The general manager of the Packers. You could have gotten rid of him right away. You could already have interviewed 4 or 5 candidates. He has not done a good enough job. Let me just go over his first-round picks real quick since Jordan Love. in 2020. By the way, the 2020 draft, he got Jordan Love. The rest of the draft was complete garbage. He's lucky he traded up for Jordan Love, or it would have been his worst draft. God, 2021. Never mind, that's worse. But his first round picks since 2020. Eric Stokes, cornerback, Georgia. Complete and total bust. The guy couldn't play. Quay Walker, linebacker, Georgia. He's a bad player. He's fast and explosive, so he'll make some plays because of his ability. But he's terrible in coverage. He has terrible instincts. He's just a bad player. He's a free agent. They had 2 first-round picks that year. Devontae White. Okay, that was a good pick. Still probably hasn't lived up to the 28th overall pick. Probably played more like a second-rounder, but at least it wasn't a bust. He'll be back next year. Lucas Van Ness in 2023 with Christian Gonzalez and Jackson Smith-Njigba on the board. 2 of the best players in their position. Absolutely horrible decision. And I kind of feel bad for Lucas Van Ness because he's a guy that should have gone in the 3rd round, but he just tested off the charts. And for some reason, Brian Gutekunst loves athletes more than football players. So instead of going in the 3rd round, like 30 years ago, he would have gone in the 3rd round because he wasn't productive in college. And I've never seen a more athletic player that had 0 pass rush moves. And I'm so tired of the narrative, oh, he's gotten better each year. Yes, because he sucked his rookie year. And he was below average last year. And I guess he was above average this year. They better not pick up his $15 million option. Oh, God, please do not do that. What a waste of cap room. And 2024, Jordan Morgan, tackle Arizona. He sucks. And don't tell me, oh, look, he played pretty well in a couple games down the stretch. He plays great when he doesn't go against really good edge rushers. He filled in for right tackle when Zach Tom was hurt, and he did have some good games. But he wasn't facing the best edge rushers. When he has to, he gets cooked. And then Matthew Golden. Okay, that's his best first-round pick since 2020. And for some reason, Matt LaFleur didn't play Matthew Golden. Hardly at all. Finally did against the Bears in the playoffs, and he was amazing. So very optimistic. He'll take over probably the Romeo Doubs role next season. So I think Goody should be fired as well. Go find a well-run organization and get their assistant general manager, bring in someone new, bring in a new head coach, and get the most out of these players. That's what they need to do. So in the comments down below, what do you think's going on with LaFleur? Do you think he's still going to be back? I still say it's probably 60-40 he's back. I was more 80-20 a couple days ago. And also in the comments, do you think they should keep Goody? And if you had to pick one, which one would you want to keep? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Once again, Lights Out Podcast, me and Mike, every Tuesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Link in the description. We talk baseball, college football, and, of course, NFL. Share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on this channel. If you have not, check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.